Welcome to this edition of the Million Dollar Mastermind podcast. This is where we pick the brains of high achievers from all walks of life and get their hard-earned, real-world insights on winning. I'm your host, Larry Weidel. Now, when you look to the future, how do you see your role? How do you see your company? You've got your podcast going. How rewarding is that for you?
Oh, it has been massively rewarding. Like what I have boiled down to is what I have my learning over the last 3 years is like you can achieve everything that you want in life if you become good at talking to people, understanding their point of view, and helping them get what they want. So what I learned was, we all think we are all, I'm so powerful. I can do this, I can do that. But at the end of the day, anything that we get in our life is given to us by somebody else.
Yeah.
So even our life is given to us by parents, right?
Right.
And everything that is given to us, if I dig deeper, it starts with a conversation. Any job, any contract, any business opportunity, even our life, our
Right.
parents had a conversation. That conversation led to them getting married or whatever, and then we were born. So now what I can say is I can use that information to have more conversations. And now podcast, this conversation, AI, all of that is letting me have many thousands of conversations. And I've grown so much. I'm like totally become a different person in 3 years than I was before. Like my mentor, he knows like the Pope. So I'm actually like 2 degrees away from the Pope, 2 degrees away from from the billionaires of the world. And how did that happen in 3 years? It's mind-boggling to me. But that's the power of technology. That's the power of understanding human nature, applying technology to that, and really really like accelerating growth. So I'm excited about accelerating other people's growth using this.
Yeah. And did you, when you went out 3 years ago, you got your course, you had a course. Did you use AI to let people know the course existed and all of that? Or did you
At that time,
a whole bunch?
No. At that time, no. It was more about like I use data science to figure out what will work, what will sell. So
Yeah.
AI was not at like I was not thinking about AI in that term, and believe me, like even AI has accelerated so much in the last 2 years. So at that point, it was not as
It's accelerated in the last 2 years.
absolute.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Really?
It's a if you just search the term ChatGPT, it is even Google is scared of that now. Microsoft is investing $10 billion into this technology. So it's like
Google's scared of what?
ChatGPT.
What does that mean now?
So ChatGPT is like
Just like
you may have,
you gave me something, I'm getting cultural shock here. I don't know what you're talking about.
so the thing is that AI, when you see these science fiction movies, right?
Right.
You see all these smart robots doing everything. Like they can do everything that a human can do. So that is called general artificial intelligence, meaning artificial intelligence is so smart it can replicate or even excel a human being, right?
Right.
So until about 2021, we were focused on a specific artificial intelligence, meaning something that is so good at doing one thing,
Yeah.
but not general artificial intelligence. So Chat GPT is the first sort of like public platform that is showing you what a general artificial intelligence will be like. It can do pretty much everything.
Wow.
It can, yeah.
And
So
now
it can,
that research going on in corporations and colleges and everywhere. Where's that research going on?
So research is going on everywhere, but the idea is to put it in implementation. And this company called OpenAI, they have released this free software platform, ChatGPT, and which has shown it can write your legal contracts better than lawyers can. It can give you, a psychological advice. It can give you medical advice. It can like do pretty much all of these things that you can think of, uh, and it's all free.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, like, it's such a disruptive thing that is
And where
happening
is
so
that?
fast.
Where
Um,
is that? They can find it. It's all free.
yeah, you can just search chat G as in God, P as in Peter, T as in Tom, Chat GPT. Just search for it. It'll lead you to chat.openai.com, and just sign up as a free account and play around with it.
Okay. What kind of things that you say your mentor? You're talk about that.
Yeah.
How'd you get a mentor? How long have you had a mentor who knows the Pope?
Yeah. So interestingly enough, I got him on. I met him on my podcast. So I had my podcast and it was doing well. And his assistant reached out and he said, "Hey, I'd like to have this person on the podcast." I was like, "Okay, good." When the person came on the podcast, I still hadn't read the bio completely. When I read the bio, I was like, "Oh my god! Like this guy is serious." And so he taught me so many things about how to talk to people, how to talk to influential people, how to really stand out in their mind, in their presence, and
Keep talking. I'm going to turn
yeah,
this line down. The sun's
yeah,
coming.
yeah. So he taught me about the meaning of building relationships, and how this world is set up, how this world is made, and also the meaning of not letting your own limitations scare you in thinking big, because most of us, we think we are only good, you know uh, good at that level, and I cannot think beyond that. And he sort of really helped me open up my mind and say there are no limits. you know like like I sat across the director of CIA, General Petraeus, who
Right.
was in charge of the entire Iraq war, Afghanistan war. Not in a million years a person like me could have thought, I will sit next to, a person like that. I was invited to speak at the UN, and next
Okay.
to the secretary.
Hey, hang on there. You
Yeah,
were invited to speak at the UN.
yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah. So, and not only that, but I was on the lineup next to the Secretary General of the UN and a Nobel Prize winner, and I was like, what the fuck? So that mentor, his name is Steve Sims. You can look him up.
Yeah.
But that's who taught me, there are no limits. And then when I utilize that information, utilize technology, all of this, what I'm sharing with you is a result of a mixture of me learning these things, applying technology, applying my knowledge about human psychology and all that. So that's the story.
Well, that's the thing. Knowledge is one thing, but you got to apply it.
Yeah.
And when you apply it, give it maybe, I'm going to let you go. I appreciate your time. But the thing is that you can speak to this when you move forward and you are applying things that you're not really familiar with, you've never done before. That can be a scary thing.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't really have a lot of success, but at some point you got to start, we call it stumble forward,
Yeah.
and you got to take that first step. But even one step, you learn things because your perspective changes, And so talk about how you started to move forward when you started to take the blinders off, the limitations off after talking to Steve. How did you change your thinking and change your actions?
Yeah. So when he taught me that, hey, in this world, the first thing is credibility. If you don't have credibility and you don't have visibility, nobody cares. Nobody knows you. But if you have credibility and you have visibility, then people want to talk to you. And then I said, okay, how do you build that credibility? So he's like, hey, credibility is like a disease, is a contagious disease. So you stand next to a credible person and you become a credible person.
Yeah.
And credibility just rubs off, right? I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So how do I now get in next to the credible people? And that's when you say, oh, okay, what do they want? Don't talk about what you want, because most people, what they do is they talk to credible people and they start talking about, I want this from you, I want this from you, you know, and they're like, okay, just I don't have time for this, right?
Right.
But then he told me, okay, don't talk about that. They are also humans. They also have needs and wants. Talk about what they want and how I can add value to them, and then they will listen to you. And
Yeah.
that was the, that's what I started learning. Okay, what do they want? Okay, this person is involved in a charity. How can I talk about that charity to them? Because that's their passion. This person is a family man. How can I talk about my experience growing up in a family, or my kids or whatever, so that they will be able to relate to me and help them in some way. A lot of people need help with technology, so I help people with technology. Just sharing this information, hey, do this and you'll find success. And so many people try it and they're like, next week, oh my god, like this was magic, like how did you do it? So when you give people something, then it's a reciprocity that sort of starts
Right.
to happen. So
Yeah. If you give them something of value to them,
yeah.
And so that's really great information. Any last word that you'd like to pass on, to kind of wrap this up for people to take away as a final thought for listening?
Yeah, of course. Well, first of all, thank you so much. But I will say, focus on building relationships and really understand AI, embrace AI, because that's changing the world already. And if you really want to be part of this next wave of wealth creation, just think of yourself as being offered a huge piece of land in 1930s in Saudi Arabia, where they didn't know oil is going to be so valuable, but they had the land and all they needed to do was dig a hole, and they became the most powerful kingdom in the land. And so that's where we are at. So learn about data, learn about AI, and don't miss out on this opportunity.
What a great closing example and comment. Thanks so much. This has been a lot of fun. And we look forward to having you on again and seeing all the new things you've learned in the meantime.
Absolutely.
Right.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, that's the end of that. But I want to just talk to you between me and you.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to set up, if you have the time, I'd love to get my office, my operations manager on and pick your brain for a little bit about how I've got a lot of areas that I could use AI in, but I need to get some direction or some help. And do you do consulting in that? Yeah. Well, so we might get you to do some projects for us, because I've got, I'm just sitting here. I love small staffs, but multiple leverage,
Yeah. That will give you the exact thing. The small staff and tremendous leverage is what AI is going to give you.
Yeah. And so I think AI is, because, moving forward, there's all kind of subjects. You say, well, I need to learn this. I need to learn that. I need to get a contact in this. The main thing I think I need to get is my head around AI.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to give me, in terms of the next step, I think that's going to give me the biggest step forward, because I'm a content creator, I won't get into it all, but maybe we can, I do a lot of different things.
Sounds good. Yeah, let's set up a meeting. And by the way, like, if you want to be on my podcast, I'd love to invite you as well. So let's set up a meeting and talk about all that.
Yeah, I would love to be on your podcast, and I think you and I can have some fun together down the road.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
All right. Great talking with you. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Million Dollar Mastermind. If you felt there were any valuable takeaways from this episode, please take a minute and leave us a 5-star review. Your feedback is important and really helps us get the word out to a wider audience. Remember, we have a valuable webinar that is absolutely free. Register for it right now at WeidelOnWinning.com. Thanks for listening.